to April Unmuted. I'm so glad you pressed play today. This space is for women who are tired of living in survival mode. The woman who's always the strong one, the one everyone leans on, the one who swallows how she feels just to keep the peace. If you feel like you're holding everything together for everybody but quietly falling apart yourself, you're in the right place. Today, I'm going to tell you my story, not the cute version, the real version, because I want you to know why I talk the way I talk and why I refuse to let you keep disappearing in the life you're actually carrying. Okay. So before we start, I want you to take a breath with me in through your nose, hold, let your shoulders drop, and let it out slow. I want you to stay with me and ask yourself while you're listening, right? Where am I doing this in my own life? Because this episode is not just my story, it's a mirror for you too. So let's get started and let's talk. I want to say something before I tell my story. If you're listening to this right now and you're like, yeah, that sounds like me, I need you to know something. You're not weak for being tired. You're not dramatic for wanting a break. You're not selfish for wanting somebody to pour into you for once. And a lot of us, we're trained to show up strong and quiet and grateful no matter what it costs us. So when you finally get to a point where you're like, I actually can't keep doing it like this, that's not you falling apart. That's you waking up. And if you're waking up, I'm proud of you for even pressing play. I want to tell you what my normal used to look like. I would wake up already exhausted. I'm talking bone tired. Okay. I would open my eyes in the morning, and the first thought in my head is, I don't want to do this. That was the first thought, right? Not I'm sleepy, more like my soul is tired and I don't want to get up and pretend again. That was the space I was in. And then I would force myself to move anyway. I would literally talk to myself like, come on, you don't have a choice. This is what you have to do. And underneath that was the real sentence I didn't want to admit. This is all you're good for, right? That lived in me. Then I'd go to work, already overwhelmed, already spinning. I felt like I was failing everyone and everyone could see it, right? I felt like I just couldn't do right no matter how hard I tried. But I still had to smile. I still had to show up. I still had to take care of my team and just take care of everybody else. So I would push down what I felt. I would tell myself, it's not about you. Get through the day. Don't make a scene and just handle it, right? And that was Monday through Friday, right? Just getting through the week, just survive the day. Then the weekend came and I wasn't going out living life. You know, a lot of times I was laying in bed, silent, numb. That was my rest. Just wanting not to be needed for a minute, just wanting to just be alone. And I told myself this was normal. I told myself everybody's stressed, everybody's tired. This is just adulthood. But that wasn't the truth, right? I was in survival mode constantly. Now, bring it back for a minute and let me ask you something. I want you to answer this in your head and be real with yourself. Do you wake up tired before the day even starts? Do you hype yourself up just to make it through the day? Like, come on, girl, don't fall apart. And no one even knows you're having that conversation with yourself? Do you live for your days off? Not to enjoy them, but just so no one needs anything from you. If you're nodding right now, I need you to understand that's survival mode. That's not laziness. That's not you're dramatic. That's you have been carrying too much for too long and nobody's been carrying you. I need you to hear me when I say this. Nothing is wrong with you. Something is heavy on you. I want you to actually picture your own week for a second. Picture you getting up when you don't want to, right? Picture you hyping yourself up just to get through work. Picture you smiling to people who have no idea you're about to go cry in the bathroom. Picture you telling yourself, it's fine, I'm fine, when you're not fine. I want you to see how hard you've been working just to function. Because the world will call that normal, right? But that is not normal. That is survival. And nobody claps for survival mode. They just expect you to keep doing it. So I'm going to clap for it. I see you. And I need you to hear this. Your body is not overreacting. Your body is tired of begging you to listen. I want to tell you where that just push through it, don't complain, prove yourself mindset came from for me. For me, a big part of it started when I had to drop out of college. And this is hard for me to even talk about, but we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to say this kind of slow cuz I don't want to get emotional about this. It wasn't because I couldn't handle school. That wasn't it at all. It wasn't because I didn't care, cuz I absolutely did. It was money. I literally could not afford to stay. But instead of saying this system is trash, right? I made it mean something about me. I started telling myself, you see, you're not smart enough. You're not qualified. You're not built for the life you wanted. And I started believing I didn't deserve the life I dreamed of. And once you start believing I'm not enough, you start moving like you've always got something to prove, right? So I went straight into the workforce and I made myself valuable by being the go to, the fixer, the reliable one, the girl they called, right? And that became my identity. I might not have the degree, but I'll outwork everybody in the room. That was the mindset I had about it. And I want to tell you the part that nobody says. Once people see you will carry everything, oh, they will let you, right? They will let you be the strong one even while you're falling apart. And after a while, you don't even know who you are without that role. You stop asking, what do I need? And you only ask, who needs me? Now, I'm going to ask you this, and I want you to actually answer it after this episode. Where did you learn you had to earn your right to exist in the room? Who told you you had to be useful to be worthy? When did you start believing if I'm not fixing something for somebody, I don't matter? Because, baby, that's not confidence, that's survival training, okay? And we call it loyalty. We call it being dependable. We call it being that girl. But a lot of the time, it's us abandoning ourselves in real time. So nobody can say we're not enough. If that hits you, I want you to just put your hand on your chest for a second and say, I'm allowed to need to. I'm allowed to need to. That sentence alone might make you emotional, but I want you to let it. I didn't heal by waking up one day and suddenly loving myself, okay? I didn't heal by all of a sudden being super confident. I really healed in small ways. right? Small steps, small ways. So I want to walk you through exactly what I started doing because I want you to try one of these today. Just one, not all of them, one, okay? I know how we all can be. Because you are me, I am she. So number one, I want you to regulate. I started giving myself 5 quiet minutes. That's it. 5, okay? Sometimes in the bathroom with the door locked, okay? Sometimes in my bed before I even got up. Sometimes in the middle of the day when I could feel myself about to snap, but I still had to keep it together. And in those 5 minutes, I would breathe and say out loud, God, I cannot do this alone. That sentence, I cannot do this alone, was the first honest thing I said all day a lot of times. Not I'm fine, because 9 times out of 10 I wasn't fine. Not I got it, that's our favorite go-to, or just I cannot do this alone. See, that's not weakness, that's release. So I want you to do that today. 5 minutes out loud. I cannot do this alone. So number 2, remember. I had to ask myself, what did I swallow today? Because I was muting myself all day long just to keep the peace. I wasn't even listening to me anymore. So I started writing one sentence I didn't say out loud. One sentence, not a whole journal entry. I'm not a journaler. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you guys I do that. Stuff like, I didn't like how you talked to me. I felt disrespected. I needed help today and nobody asked me if I was okay. Not for social, not to post, but for me to hear my real voice again. That's your second option for today. Okay? Write one sentence you swallowed, just one. And number 3, reframe. That shame voice that says, you're not qualified, you're failing, you're the problem. I stopped letting that voice speak first. I started answering it out loud like, no, I'm not difficult for having needs. I'm allowed to need support. I'm allowed to be tired. That right there is mindset. That's mindset work nobody teaches, okay? That's self reclaiming, okay? Catch the lie, give yourself the truth. So, your third option for today, when that voice drags you, I want you to say out loud, no, I'm not the problem for needing care. Let your body hear you, defend you, okay? And then number 4, we're going to reclaim. This is where it stops being thoughts and turns into how you move. Reclaiming myself look like choosing me on purpose in real life. Resting without earning it, right? Saying no and not apologizing after. Letting my tone be my tone, not the safe tone I use just to make everybody else, make everybody else feel comfortable. And honestly, showing up, talking, making this podcast in my own voice, even when I'm scared, like that's what I'm talking about. Claiming your tone, your voice. Reclaiming is when you decide, I'm not disappearing today. I'm not shrinking today. I'm not abandoning myself today. So here's what I want you to do after this episode. Pick one of the 4. Pick one of those 4 and actually do it. I want you to actually do it. Either give yourself 5 quiet minutes and say, I can't do this, or write one honest sentence that you swallowed, that you didn't say, okay? or talk back to the voice that lied to you, that voice in your head that has you thinking those negative thoughts, or choose yourself in one tiny real life decision with no apology. So just one today. Don't wait until you feel ready, because ready is a lie. So I want you to do it tired, do it shaky, because that's how this starts. And after you do it, I want you to notice how your body feels. Not your mood, your body, right? Do you feel lighter? Do you feel scared? Do you feel proud and kind of emotional? That reaction you feel in your body is proof you're coming back to yourself. Here's what I want you to sit with as we close this out, okay? You're allowed to need, you're allowed to rest, you're allowed to be heard in your real voice. You're allowed to take up space in the life you're holding together. You do not have to keep abandoning yourself to keep the peace. Your body saying, I can't live like this anymore, is not a meltdown. That's a boundary. That's the beginning of you coming back to you. That right there is mindset. That's faith. That's transformation. That's self-reclamation. And that is what we're doing here every single week. I'm in it with you. I'm not above you, okay? We are walking out of survival mode together. So I really want to thank you guys for listening to episode 7 of April Unmuted. And remember, be authentic in everything you do, because authenticity is the new bag.